What's happening, everyone? It's Ben Nelson with Pencil to Pixel here. I'm back for segment number 10. We took a little bit of a break, but I'm super excited to be back. Today we've got a big one here with Loop. Loop Insurance is a really interesting product out of Texas. They're kind of flipping the auto insurance industry on its head a little bit and actually giving people a more transparent, open, kind of an easier way, but also a more tailored way and fairly priced way for auto insurance. So Loop is the product today. I'm sure that they may be already working on a product, but I reached out to them maybe a month ago or so. So we're gonna go deep dive in today to Loop, both on kind of a current user as well as a new user. If you're new to Pencil and Pixel, my name's Ben with Manifest Digital Solutions. We build products for everyday use, web app, native app. We design interfaces, and we also do a little bit of marketing too, so we're all kind of over the board. And Pencil to Pixel is a series that I've created where I basically go from sketch in a notebook, the pencil, to pixels and app screens. So within the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be going from the sketches. I've already started a little bit today because I was super excited to dive in. And we're going to be going all the way into looking at some of the interfaces that I've designed already for Loop, as well as kind of creating some new ones for a little onboarding series if I were to be a new Loop customer. So let's start with a little bit of the background in terms of, I think I started yesterday kind of playing around with this, bring you in close so we can begin to chat a little bit about this. So every time I set out on a Pencil to Pixel project, and before we dive in and we talk through some of the thinking and methods and all that good stuff, I want to first explain, like every Pencil to Pixel project that I do, I always define one or two unique things that I want to touch on within the segment. So in today's segment, I didn't just want to create a space where if I were an existing Loop customer with a policy or two for some of my vehicles, I didn't want to create just a space where I could see that. I think that I'm trying to shoot a little bit further here in terms of giving either an existing or a new Loop user some real value. And so I did create a number of screens to demonstrate if I were a current customer. I'll walk you through this. We can see the policies. We can provide the user with a place to contact the 24/7 bilingual support team, as well as file a claim within just a couple of minutes if I had an accident. And so then I can go in here through and see my policies. I have a profile, I have documents. We've got a screen where we can log in, all that good stuff. But the important part here that I want to focus on is, as Loop, kind of from what I've done with research and following John, and some of the other executive members on social, it's like they're building a wait list now. So they have dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands, I'm sure, of users that are ready to use the product, and they're gonna be ready to purchase policies or transfer policies. And so this will be the first interaction that they have with the app. And so I wanted to think about kind of combining what I did here with current user to new user. So let's dive right in. I started here in the sketching. Very simple stuff. I always start with the pencil part to every segment. So here I've got just a simple login screen. We've got a little home screen, a couple ideas here with some notation. We may want a notification spot. We want a welcome message. We want the priority, kind of the primary section of the home page to be around the policies. I know that if I have multiple vehicles, like a scooter and a couple of cars or something like that, and I want to be able to quickly access that information if I need it, And that's really probably one of the most important parts of the product, is being able to view your policies. And then down below, outside of kind of this bottom menu, we have a couple different opportunities to file a claim or ask for assistance through a live chat with the Loop team. And then kind of rolling through, I also wanted to kind of give a policy in detail page. So that is this right here. And then a little profile mock-up, some content information, a little profile photo, opportunity to edit, and playing around with a little bit of different formatting here. And then I also sketched out a little bit of the bottom menu, like what we'd want that to include. So I ended up with a couple of things, those of which are profile, the assistance, filing a claim, and policies, kind of like the 4 signature elements to the logged in view. So let me bring you in close, and we'll go from pencil here to pixel on the screen, and we'll get right into the action. So if I zoom way in here, I just want to walk you through kind of what I've come up with so far within this prototype. So if I get in real close, we've got kind of the starting screen. Working on a little tripod here. We've got the starting screen, which is just a launch screen, right? We have either an opportunity for them to log in, or if they're new to Loop, then there's an option down here to begin, which we'll spend the majority of the time on today. But say I'm a logged in user, I already have a couple policies with Loop. So here, a little welcome message. Like I mentioned, the majority of this page revolves around my policies, my vehicles. So I have a little horizontal scroll element here that shows, I got a Golf, for example, I have a Tesla, and I have a Mini Cooper. So I can view all of those policies there just by clicking on one. And then down below, I can also tap into the support team as well as filing a claim. And then down here, I can do the same. So if I want to view my profile, I've got a profile with an email, phone, and emergency contact. And if I want to go back home, I can do the same. And then viewing the policy is pretty simple. This menu stays the same down here. And then we also have the policy information, really simple stuff, the number, the type, my agent Ed, as well as the year, and then we're back. So that's kind of the initial sort of, within a few hours, we went from the sketch to the working prototype. Now I want to go back to some of this work here that I've done in terms of really digging into what the new Loop user looks like. And if I can get this set up correctly, then we'll get right into it. Nice. So what I want to focus on here within the new Loop user is giving them a little bit of information about the product. And then I think if I was brand new, I try and always put myself in the shoes of who I'm designing for. So if I was brand new and I just heard about it and I want to begin with Loop, I'd probably also want to start with some sort of a survey where I can get basic information, personally identifiable information, and then start to ask questions about insurers. So we have a couple welcome screens here that I think we're going to tap into, and then try and get into a little bit of a survey. So I think what I want to do, if I'm not logged in and I'm new to Loop, is I want to design a couple of screens where we take the user through a little bit of education around Loop. So let's see here. I pulled some text just from the website, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to come up with a couple more things. So like, we are Loop. They're based in Austin. And, for everyone watching here, I think the real interesting part about where Loop came from is the fact that maybe what they found when they kind of peeled back the curtains, if you will, is that they found that with auto insurance, it's based on a lot of information that may not be as relevant to the policy as some think. So things like credit score, marital status, income. They're trying to provide a more fairly priced way for people to get insurance for automobiles. So here maybe we just have a couple of screens in terms of educating around the product. So we have a little welcome message here, and then nice, we have a little welcome message, and this is just on the fly, you know, this is going from sketch to prototype. So let's begin is probably the next one, and then let's do like in the following, in just a few minutes, we can gather your information and provide you with an accurate claim, or accurate policy rather. And then this probably is not the circle. This is probably a rectangle button with some rounded corners that just says begin survey. So if we go back here, get it looking nice and fresh, grab some button text from up here, boom, begin survey, awesome, boom. And then let's tap into, so we got a couple little onboarding screens here. We're based in Austin. We peeled back the curtains. We could even put something in here about how Loop works. I know that if I were a new user, insurance is an interesting thing. I think there's a lot of interesting vernacular and verbiage behind the product, where I think Loop could do a really good job of making it feel almost more quote unquote human. That may be just me, but I always feel like there's a lot of big words and meaningful stuff that may be missed. And so we talk a little bit about how Loop leverages AI, big data to give more fairly priced insurance. Let's begin. And we're just going to call this like a policy survey, sure. And then leave us with a few responses, and we will contact you with a custom quote. Bump this down a little bit. Nice. Okay. So we're still kind of mimicking a lot of the stuff within the logged in view that we have up over here. You know, we have this cool image. We're using the blue. We're using the pinks. And then this is kind of the survey. I did like this little element up here. I had a little line, kind of an opacity play with the pink color, which I think is really cool. But let's grab a little bit of these fields here, and let's just get some easy stuff going. Let's get a couple input boxes, and then we could also ask some questions like, who have you used for insurance in the past? These are all questions that they'd be able to answer, but other things that they may want to know is like, how many vehicles do you have? So think what we could do here, which would be cool, is insurance in the past. Boom. How many vehicles do you have? Nice. Let's grab these, and we're gonna take them to. First, need to fix these. Let's get a little shadow going. Let's make this a little bit less harsh. Nice. Get a little corner radius, and then what I think would be cool is make them sort of input fields, so we also have a border of maybe 1, of 1, not 11, 1. And then we use this pink color as well. So let's see here. We could do some interesting things with, sticky keys. You can do some things with like predicting. I know that designing around empty states is a thing that I'm trying to focus on. So if we design around, that sort of stuff where we can sort of help the user through the survey. Even if it's just as simple as that, that gives us a space where we can move through. And then I think let's go here and also put this here, and then let's just call this continue. We could do something cool as well, which I thought of, which is shortcut O, and then we have a number of little circles down here, which shows the progress throughout the survey. So everyone likes to know where they're at with all this stuff. So if we have 3, these guys are white with, that shows that they're kind of not completed yet. And then this guy is complete, so we're gonna use pink there. And now we have a way to show the user, okay, we are 1 of 3 of the way through. Let's continue. Let's go here. Let's use a little bit of this stuff. Let's get rid of this. Insurance, personal information. So now we can kind of tailor each screen to this sort of onboarding process for the quote, if you will. How many vehicles? These could be drop-down fields. So this could be like 1. State Farm comes top of mind for who has used insurance in the past. And then what we could do is take a little arrow to suggest that it's a drop-down. Grab an arrow from up here, bump it down. Nice. And then what we can do is just make this a little bit smaller of a field, turn it on its side. Boom. Awesome. Then we have a little bit of a drop-down state, which is pretty cool. And we can do the same for that. And then maybe we have one more screen here, which is kind of like final, be interested to see what information that loop collects as they leverage data in order to be able to provide a policy quote or something like that. So if I just connect this all together, and then if we put this one back to kind of this home page, sure. So now let's walk through from kind of start to finish what we covered in the segment today. So first we went from the sketch, we walked through kind of the existing Loop user, if you will, with their policies, the assistance, the file a claim, being able to view in detail. And then we also walk through, hey, okay, so if I'm actually interested personally in becoming a Loop user, because I think the product's cool, I want to see what this is all about, where do I go when I download the app first in order to be able to begin the process? Had a little connection there. If we go and dive into the prototype, here's what we came up with. So if I'm new to Loop, today we worked on a couple of onboarding screens. So hi there, welcome to Loop. We're based in Austin. They're driven around more fairly priced insurance through big data and AI. If we continue, let's begin. There's a quick survey that any sort of app download would go to. Say if I'm a new Loop user and I don't have an account or I don't have an email and password to log in, I want to begin the survey. We're going to collect That's it for segment number 10. Thank you so much. This has been super fun. Can't believe we're already on the 10th segment. And for the next 10, we'll see what happens. Today, we worked on Loop Insurance out of Austin, Texas, founded by a couple of people, one in which is John Henry, super cool guy, been following for a while. Used to watch his hustle shows on Vice over on YouTube. And as soon as I saw that they were kind of starting a wait list, I wanted to jump in, design a few screens, both for the logged in and the new user, which was super cool. So we went from Sketch today, which is everything from real simple login screen showing the policy. How are we going to define the quick action menu on the bottom, the profile page, and then also we worked through kind of on the fly today. What happens when someone isn't a current Loop customer and wants to begin that process? So we've walked through an idea, a proposal on how the app can capture that information and then turn it around quick and give the user a quick feedback loop that the Loop team is working on it. So thank you so much for joining us today on segment 10 of Pencil to Pixel. My name is Ben Nelson with Manifest Digital Solutions, and we'll see you soon for segment number 11.